Some relief for the common man. Petrol price is reduced by 1 rupee and 80 paise a litre before VAT across India. An angry DMK takes to the street to protest Jayalalitha's sacking of welfare workers, threatened to stage a road roko and a jail baro movement.
You cannot take in your vendetta revenge in these cases. It's absolutely inhuman.
Away from the political blame game, the ordeal of sacking, in the words of a victim, once a sole breadwinner. The PMK wants the Kalpakkam plant to be shut down by 2020. Plans to send a medical team to assess the impact of radiation. The Supreme Court will soon lay down guidelines to help courts decide bail applications in high-profile cases. The Apex Court promises to examine delays in pending mercy petitions before the President and governors. Less than a week after Lankan President Rajapakse's assurance, his navy attacks another Indian fisherman. And is the inordinate delay in disposing domestic violence cases defeating the purpose of the act? Hello and good evening. You're watching Headlines now on NDTV Hindu with me, Anu Josh Kanjanatopal. You'll agree with me that delayed justice is denied justice, and that is what is happening here and now. We have some alarming facts on domestic violence cases, but before we get to it, the national headlines. After crisis meet, Vijay Mallya says he has never asked the government for any bailout or to pay from the taxpayers' money. Rajasthan's Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's cabinet resigns to pave way for reshuffle owing to a growing political storm. UP's Chief Minister Mayawati has announced that the UP cabinet has passed a proposal to split the state into 4 regions. And shocking images of schoolboys subject to capital punishment at Sainik School in Jharkhand. And Leander Pace and Mahesh Bhupati headed for Splitsville once again. There's finally good news for all of us. After a nationwide outrage over the recent fuel price hike, oil marketing companies have reduced petrol prices by rupees 1.80 paise per litre before VAT. What this means is that in Delhi, petrol will be rupees 2.25 paise cheaper per litre. Price cuts are expected to be higher in other cities like Mumbai and Kolkata, where VAT is higher. Fuel price has been raised 4 times this year. The last 2 price hikes coming within 2 months of each other, causing much outrage among people and various political parties. Here is how people reacted.
It's really frustrating, either you have to, some government guidelines has to be done. So every time you rise, every time you just keep lowering the price, some standard benchmark has to be made, comparing with different countries. So what is actually happening, across the world, that also has to be taken into consideration. Simply, for the sake of, internal government, and, people are actually playing with our money. What we are, earning very hard, we are spending almost half the money for the petrol.
1 rupee 80 paise ஒரு பெரிய மேட்டரே இல்ல. ஆக்சுவலா பெட்ரோல் பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ விக்கிற விலைவாசி நியர்பை 80 கிட்ட 70 கிட்ட விக்குது. பெட்ரோல் விலை இன்னும் கம்மி பண்ணனும் ரொம்ப சார். ஏனா பக்கத்துல பாத்தீங்கன்னா பாகிஸ்தான்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா 27 bucksக்குலாம் கிடைக்குது பெட்ரோல். ஸோ இந்தியா மட்டும்தான் 70 rupees. பெட்ரோல் ஹையஸ்ட்டாக விற்கிற கண்ட்ரின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா இந்தியா மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது. இதில் மத்திய அரசும் மாநில அரசும் கொஞ்சம் இணைஞ்சு செயல்பட்டால் பெட்ரோல் விலையை கண்டிப்பாக கம்மி பண்ணலாம். ஆவரேஜாக 30 ரூபா 38 ரூபாய்க்கு பெட்ரோல் விற்கலாம். அதுக்கு மக்களும் ஒத்துழைக்கணும்.
This is very favor to the middle class people, and if the petrol is also in control, so the many people can use the bike.
Just taxes உனி குறைச்சாங்கன்னா உனி கம்மியாகும். ஓகேவா? Like எங்கள மாதிரி வேலைக்கு போறவங்களுக்கு that would be very useful. Like எங்களுக்கு மட்டும் இல்ல எல்லாருக்குமே இது யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
The DMK in Tamil Nadu is holding a statewide agitation demanding reinstatement of more than 13,000 welfare workers sacked by the Jayalalitha government. These contract workers were originally appointed during the DMK regime in 1990, while Jayalalitha kept sacking them during all her regimes, alleging most workers were DMK cadre. The DMK kept reinstating them every time the party captured power. Denying the allegation, a few days ago, the Madras High Court stayed the sacking of workers. In Chennai, the protest was led by MK Stalin.
மீண்டும் அவர்களுக்கு அந்த வேலையை வழங்கிட வேண்டும் என்பதை அறிவுறுத்துவதன் சார்பில் இந்த அறப்போராட்டத்தை நடத்தியிருக்கிறோம். இந்த அறப்போராட்டம் விரைவில் உண்ணாவிரத போராட்டமாக, அதற்கு பிறகு மறியல் போராட்டமாக, ஏன் சிறைக்கு செல்லக்கூடிய போராட்டமாக மாறக்கூடிய சூழ்நிலையை முதலமைச்சராக இருக்கக்கூடிய ஜெயலலிதா உருவாக்கி தர வேண்டாம் என்று நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
12,000 families.
Yes.
It's a question of the livelihood. How do you look at this? What's your party stand on this?
My party stand is what Dalapati has already spoken about. We are ready to even go to jail for this. If the people are not given the jobs back, if they are not taken back for their work, then I think we will continue with this kind of agitation and protest. We are even ready to go to jail for that. So we are not going to step back.
And you look at this as a kind of an inhuman political vendetta activity.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not fair. Every time DMK comes to the party, we give them the job. Every time AIDMK comes to the party, Madam Jayalalitha keeps dispersing, keeps throwing them out of the job. She doesn't even think that they have been left behind with absolutely no other work. What happens to their livelihood? What happens to their family and children? So she doesn't even want to force seats. Again, you cannot take in your vendetta, revenge in these cases. It's absolutely inhuman.
Away from the political blame game, one of the sacked employees is feeling the pinch. In their words, they say that they would rather consume poison and die. Most of the victims are sole breadwinners of their family.
நாங்கள் எந்த கட்சியில் இருக்கிறோம்னா அவங்களுக்கு என்ன தெரியும். நாங்கள் திமுகன்னு எங்களை 12 வருஷமா நாங்கள் ஒரு 12,000 குடும்பங்களின் நடுத்தருவில் நிற்க வச்சுட்டாங்களே. அவங்களும் ஒரு பொம்பளை தானே. நாங்கள் 6,000 குடும்பம் வெறும் பொம்பளையா இருக்கிறோமே. எங்களுக்கெல்லாம் வயசு 50 வயசு 55 வயசு ஆயிடுத்து. ஒன்று இருக்கிறது கொஞ்சம் ஒரு 5 வருஷ காலம். இது கூட எங்களுக்கு இந்த வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கலன்னா அப்புறம் எங்களுக்கு எது என்ன வருது சொல்லுங்க. எங்களுக்கு எது என்ன ஆகுனா எங்களுக்கே தெரியல. இப்ப எல்லாம் மூலிகை மூலம் மருந்து விட்டுட்டு சாவறாங்க. மூலிகை மூலம் மருந்து விட்டுட்டு சாவறாங்க. எங்களுக்கு இந்த வேலை 1990 போட்டதுல இருந்து இதுவரையில எங்களுக்கு எந்த ஒரு பெனிஃபிட்லாம் நாங்கள் கஷ்டப்படுறோம். நாங்கள் இந்த 100 நாள் வேலையில் வந்து எவ்வளோ கஷ்டத்தெல்லாம் அனுபவிச்சு எங்களுக்கு ஒன்றுமே எந்த ஒரு நல்லது இல்லை. அது எங்களுக்கு ஏன் இந்த அம்மா பழி வாங்கணும்னு எண்ணத்தோடு இருக்குது.
ஒரு அரசியல் கட்சி வந்து ஒரு வேலை வாய்ப்புகளை உருவாக்கும் போது மாற்று அரசாங்கம் வரும்போது அவங்கள மேம்படுத்துறதுக்கு பாடுபடணுமே தவிர அவங்கள பணி நீக்கம் பண்ணக்கூடாது என்ன பேரறிஞர் அண்ணா அவர்கள் சொன்னார்கள். ஆனால் அண்ணாவின் பெயரால் ஆட்சி நடத்துகின்ற இந்த அரசாங்கம் 13,500 பேரினுடைய வாழ்க்கையில் இருளடைய செய்துவிட்டது.
The PMK today demanded shutting down of the Kalpakkam nuclear plant amidst claims that the plant had witnessed accidents besides affecting the local people. PMK Chief S. Ramdas said, and I quote, "We would be sending a medical team soon to examine the effects on the local people. The government should come out with a white paper on the plant and the related fears expressed by local people." Ramdas also said that he would lead the protest at Kalpakkam while his party would conduct awareness camps for the residents of Kalpakkam. He also demanded an explanation of the impact of radiation on people by medical professionals and that government should come out with a policy that no more nuclear plants or reactors would come up at Kalpakkam or anywhere else in the state.
வேக அணு உலைகள் உலகின் வேறு எந்த பகுதியிலும் இதுவரை வெற்றிகரமாக அமைக்கப்படவும் இல்லை. தற்போது செயல்பாட்டிலும் இல்லை. அந்த வகையில் தமிழக மக்கள் சோதனைச்சாலை எலிகளாக மாற்றப்பட்டுள்ளனர். வளர்ந்துவிட்ட வல்லரசுகளான அமெரிக்கா, இங்கிலாந்து, ஜெர்மனி ஆகிய நாடுகள் வேக அணு உலை அமைப்பது சாத்தியமில்லாதது என்று கூறி முயற்சியினை பாதியிலே கைவிட்டுவிட்டன.
Moving on, a 3-judge bench of the Apex Court on Tuesday agreed to examine in January the serious issue of denial of bail in high-profile cases by trial courts and the High Courts, contrary to the earlier dictum, bail is the rule, jail is an exception. This is following the hearing of bail plea of Ashok Kumar Sinha, an associate former Jharkhand CM Madhu Kota. He is in jail for offences relating to money laundering. A bench headed by Justice Altmas Kabir, after hearing the petitioner counsel Ranjit Kumar, listed for hearing on the 18th of January to decide the larger issue for laying down guidelines. Earlier, the counsel Ranjit Kumar told court that his client was in jail for more than 2 years, whereas the minimum sentence is 3 years and maximum is 7 years. He also told the court that of late, trial courts are not granting bail as some of these cases are media-driven and judges are afraid of the confidential reports needed for elevation. He submitted that the trial judges are also afraid because questions are asked on the basis of statements of the prosecution reported in the media. A serious issue has arisen as a result of denial of bail to the accused was also fundamental rights. He said it was time a 3-judge bench of this court clearly lay down law for all the courts to follow so that the rights of the accused are not trampled upon. In yet another incident over a week, a fisherman was injured today when Sri Lankan naval personnel allegedly attacked 3 fishing boats from Rameshwaram in the Park Straits. The Lankan Navy men allegedly pelted stones, damaging the boats, and the fishermen suffered head injuries. The fishermen were discharged after treatment at a hospital. In 2 separate incidents over the past 9 days, 14 fishermen have been injured and 23 boats damaged when Lankan naval personnel allegedly pelted stones at them while they were fishing near Kachatheva. On the 7th of November, Chief Minister Jayalalitha wrote to the Prime Minister expressing concern over the frequent attacks on fishermen and said India should take a strong stand against Sri Lanka and convey its serious apprehension through tough words and action. She had also added that attacks should be viewed as a national issue and not as an isolated problem of Tamil Nadu. The Supreme Court today said it will examine the delay in deciding all mercy petitions pending before the President and governors. Supreme Court directed the Additional Solicitor General to submit details of pending mercy petition before the President and before the state governors. This has to be done by December 16. Senior lawyers Ramjit Melani and T.R. Andyarjuna will be amicus, assisting the Apex Court in this case. The case will be taken up in January 2nd week. A friend turns murderer. More on that after the break.